good, YouTube? Another rookie analysis coming to y'all by Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. We're going to talk about Jaren Jackson, one of my favorite players at Summer League, one of the youngest players in this draft. Has a load of potential, has a beautiful body, length, size, quickness. And check out my website at analysisplayeraround.com and my Facebook. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Let's start the video. Jaren Jackson is a guy that has versatility, the ability to stretch out that floor at that 4 or 5 position if you want to go small and knock down that 3, gives Mike Connolly a pick and roll threat. Not only that, gives space for Marcus Gasol to operate in that mid to low post or even roll into the rim or just stand in there to have floor spacing in general. He's an upgrade considering that Zebo has similar type of play style scoring wise as Marcus Gasol. It's fun to have some speed, some quickness, and some perimeter shooting at that forward position as the NBA has now modernized out. And Jaren Jackson is now at 18, a guy that can handle the ball a little bit, shoot the ball a little bit, play make a little bit, and have a lot of unlimited skill sets that still has been unlocked considering that he's 18. But to be able to shoot, if he can knock it down from 36 to 40%, he's going to be a hard player to guard, especially in the offense with other all-stars. As you see, he can shoot it up quick, got a quick release, fast release, and got good balance on that jumper and squares right up. This is my favorite part about Jaren Jackson being young. The fact that he's sealing at a young age. Usually you just want on the road to the basket to catch lobs and dunks. But he's actually getting into the areas, having good footwork, keeping the ball high, dunking on people, or even just sealing people so that way he has a lane. And if he has that lane, he can just go right up and dunk it or just catch a lob. But this will help him against Marcus Gasol, for example. But as you see, he has very good moves, not polished enough, but good enough against the Summer League competition. But he's going to have to bulk up and get more body and more strength when he's going against NBA athletes. But he would definitely find that out. But at this point, he still can finish decently, but I don't think he'd be one of the above average scorers in the NBA his first couple seasons as he tones out that body, gets some more strength, and take some more batter, get some more bruising and some more IQ. This one is a good one too. Playmaking out of the post. This is something that him and Marcus Gasol can do as they're two good passers at that forward and center spot. This is what I'm telling you guys about sealing, getting space for that jump shot. He's going to always either have an open layup or a dunk or an open jump shot. If he makes them guard him or if he seals them, it's going to always be open. And Mike Conley is a passing point guard that can still score it, and he can shoot the 3. And as you see, another pass, not trying to force up a shot, being patient, being smart, and making the correct play, that helps in that type of offense that they run in Memphis, even if they slow it down. Obviously, blocking is one of his biggest things in Summer League. To be able to cover so much space in a short amount of time is beautiful, especially for an 18-year-old. You don't want to foul that much. He did foul a lot in Summer League, and he fouled out one game that I watched. But you like to see his activity and wanting really to play defense right now, especially coming out into the NBA, really wanting to be great at defense, really trying to play hard at defense, really just having a lot of effort and caring about the defensive end. Because if you look at a lot of players, they either say they can't shoot or they're not good at defense. At least you got a guy that can shoot, but he also still developing. So you're not asking Jaren Jackson to come in here and get you 40 a game. You just asking him to come in here and give you some energy, some effort, and go out there and play hard. And that's what he did at Summer League. I know that it's going to be a different story and a different type of matchups and a harder challenge when he played against NBA starters and NBA caliber players and go against some scouts, and they're going to force him to adjust. They're going to force him to change up his game a little bit and add in a span to his game. If he wants to be great, he would take it as a challenge, put in the work, and make the necessary moves and the necessary workouts to get to where he wants to go. Obviously, he was a lottery pick in that top 10. He went off the board in that top 5. Memphis was sold on him. They could have got a lot of other players, but they wanted Jaren Jackson out of all of them. And me going to Summer League, I was able to see it firsthand, and he looks special, amazing. We talk about Wendell Carter. You have a guy in Jaren Jackson that can do damn near the same things he can. It's just that he's younger. And the fact that he has the veteran moves like the ceiling and, getting ready for the three, making the extra passes, being able to pass on the low post, pass on the high post, and you have one of the most skilled big men in the NBA in Marcus All that can do similar things. You can see some high-low passing. We can see Marcus All throwing lobs up to him, getting dunks. We can see him cutting to the basket, getting drop-off passes and going up and layup and dunking them. We can even see him doing that for Marcus All, making him get some easier baskets, helping him, get ready for retirement. But I'm not saying push him out too quick, but he doesn't have to work as hard for his baskets because he's going to get easier baskets because of the attention that Jaren Jackson draws. But let's just talk about the Mike Conley fit. Mike Conley missed majority of the season. You seen how important he was to that team because once he was gone, they was basically not even competing or even competitive at that point. But the fact that Mike Conley is a heady, smart, huge basketball IQ guy, a guy that can slow down the offense, come up and speed down the offense, and change pace when he scores. You add him with a guy like Jaren Jackson that can slide to the rim, set screens, roll to the basket, if not, drop off to the three-point line. And as you've seen, too, he can do the pick and pop. And the fact that, he's a passer, too, he can pass the ball out to Mike Conley for a spot up three or give him ability to, drive to the basket, get to the free throw line, make a layup. I think the number one thing about Jaren Jackson that I would definitely see him working on is the offensive end, and it do seem crazy to say it, but the guy has unlimited potential. I think he can be one of those guys that can do everything. Literally, shoot the three, mid-range stop and pop, glide to the basket with layups and dunks because he's so slithery, so fast and so quick and so long and so lanky and athletic that he can finish in that paint because he's going to be faster than most guys at that power forward center position because of his body and his leanness. He can just sneak and slither through cracks and holes in the defense and get easy shots at the basket. And the fact that he has finesse and a soft game allows him to, go out to the three-point line, but he's so quick and he's a decent ball handler at his size at this point. Not amazing, not great, but the fact that he can do it and he can improve on it. At age 18, this is basically unreal. And when I seen him pick it, I wasn't the happiest for Memphis, but seeing how he played in Summer League and seeing how he can play with upgraded talent with the Memphis NBA players and their starters, this can be a huge thing for them. Especially it depends on how healthy Mike Conley and Marcus All is going to be this season if they can stay healthy, because it makes their job easier, but it makes his job a lot easier because in Summer League, he was the focal point of the offense. He was touching the ball. He was setting the screens. He was doing handoffs. He was always a part of everything that they did. In the NBA, he's going to get more of a break because they're going to run a lot of offense through Marcus All. They're going to run a lot of plays through Mike Conley. So he's going to be the beneficiary of being the open guy, the guy that nobody's paying attention to, or the guy that's going to be open because of double teams and traps, or the guy that's just going to be a beneficiary of they have to react to how these guys are on the court. So he's going to get a lot of open shots because of that. If you do, like I say, if you do the pick and roll and stuff, he's going to get a lot of open shots because they have those players like Marcus All and Mike Conley that can create their own shot, but also are good scorers at their position. And that's going to make his job a lot easier as well as make theirs a lot easier because his ability to space out the floor. Now, this do make them a lot more versatile, especially up in the front courts because, like I said, they have more of a modern game now with these players that they brought in. I was kind of surprised that they traded Ben McLemore and Deontay Davis because it gave them more athleticism in the front court and in that backcourt spot. But their roster still looks good with Kyle Anderson being the guy that can also create shots for others, but also create his own shot to a certain extent, but he's getting better at it. You have JaMychal Green that can play multiple forward positions. Obviously, you have Chandler Parsons. If he's healthy, he can create his own shot and knock down threes, but also play in the pick and roll from time to time. This can be one of the more versatile, harder to guard teams, and Memphis has never really been known for their offense, even the last couple of years when they try to change how they guard. They used to be grind town with Tony Allen and Tayshaun Prince. Now they going with guys that's more athletic and more 3-point happy. They go into a more modern offense, and they have the right players. They have the right personnel now. Now it's just a matter of putting the offense together, getting guys to buy in, and figuring out ways to continue to expand and improve the team as these years go forward, and as Mike Conley and Marcus Gasol goes out of the NBA or gets traded. Trying to find an identity while they're still healthy and they're still playing and they still can contribute. Now, Jaren Jackson working on his post game is definitely a thing that I would like to see. I'm glad that he's not scared to play in the mid post or the high post or the low post, but I definitely want to see him polish up some skills, get the jump shot a little bit more polished and a little bit more better. Obviously, posting up is going to be harder to do because he doesn't have the body, but he still does have the athletic advantage on a lot of fours and threes. So I can see him getting a lot of quick little floaters off. I can see him definitely getting to the basket and getting some easy baskets because he's so quick. But other than that, he's going to definitely have to work on his inside game more than his outside game, because they're going to let him shoot until he proves that he's going to be a good shooter consistently throughout the season. If he becomes a 35 or 36 3-point shooter, like I said, in the clips, then they're going to guard him totally different. If he's a 35 or below, they're going to sag off of him, or they're going to give him those shots and live with it. But if he's hitting it like he was hitting it in Summer League, that's going to open it up for Marcus Gasol. That's going to open it up for Mike Conley and the other guys like Kyle Anderson and Chandler Parsons that have driving lanes, and he can be one of those kick-out threats that they're going to have to pay attention to now if he's knocking down that three consistently. Now, in the interior, he's going to have trouble finishing around the rim. He's going to have trouble creating a shot in the post because he's just not strong enough, and he can get knocked around. So I definitely want to see how they're going to utilize him if he can't score and finish around that rim, other than lobs and obviously roll to the baskets. Other than that, I don't really have no more questions for Jaren Jackson, considering that he's 18 and he has never played a game in the NBA. Other than that, I like him. He has huge potential. He has the body. He has the skill set. And he looks amazing at 18. To me, this is a good pickup for them. And I like what he can potentially be. I don't have any comparisons for him right now at this point, because when I watched Summer League, he played his heart out. But the biggest thing he will have to work on is definitely not fouling a lot. He's going to be too important to the team's success and the team identity, possibly in the future. So the fouls is his biggest concern. He kind of reminds me of Karl Anthony Towns a little bit. Anytime you see somebody going to the paint, that means you have to go out there and try to stop them. You have to have a higher basketball IQ. You have to understand angles. You got to understand, to go after the ball, not the player, because hitting the player just going to result in a foul, especially if you don't go straight up. But you can also rotate over and just try to block the shot when they're releasing it, or you can just try to bait them in, like you've seen in a lot of clips, bait them in to finishing and then go straight up and go all ball. But that's something, besides offense, he's going to really have to work on, which is staying out of foul trouble, stop being so trigger happy to block everything, and just calm down, relax, and read and react, and buy into a team concept defensively. And Marcus Gasol is one of the better defenders over the time. He can also spread some knowledge and help him get wiser and show him some footage of what he can do to improve. Because remember, Marcus Gasol is not too long ago Defensive Player of the Year. Jaren Jackson has a better body, has more athleticism than him, so Marcus Gasol should be able to pass down a lot of that knowledge to Jaren Jackson, making his transition defensively possibly a lot better if he's willing to listen and he does the things that he sees in film session and in practice. And if he can put it on the court, then he can be one of the league leaders in shot blocking every season. And I think he should be able to give you 1 or 2 steals because he's quick. He can see passes coming. He can be there. He can basically deflect them. He can get in the post. He's so quick and so lanky that he can strip the ball when you're trying to go straight up. He can poke it away if you're not paying attention. And those things can make him potentially a Defensive Player of the Year candidate too. But we talking about years from now, not in his rookie season. So keep that in context that the guy is 18. He hasn't played a game in the NBA. don't overreact to summer league. But the guy has potential. The guy should be a star. And like I said, playing with two all-star caliber players helps your job be a lot easier, especially on offense and defense when you have a team that you can just come in and be yourself and develop slowly. And when it's time for you to show up, like, you can do it easier now because now you develop, now you're ready. And once they give you the ball, you just gotta go out there and prove it. And once you get to that point, years later, we'll see if he does it or if he becomes a role player, kind of like with Miles Turner. He had the potential. We seen it. Then he became a role player instead of a star. But that's what he did with his career. Jaren Jackson could probably do the opposite and become a star. And Miles Turner still can become one, obviously, because he's still young and he's still playing in the NBA. But he hasn't had the transition that a lot of us thought that he would at this point in his career. So at the end of the day, let me know what you guys think. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. And like I said, I got all the t-shirts that I have on my Facebook page. If you like one, inbox me. Also, you can see how all of them look on my Facebook page because they all there in picture form. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis, I'm gone. And let me know what you guys think about Jaren Jackson. Potentially being a star for the Memphis Grizzlies.